So I have been living with the Steam Deck for the last few weeks. Ever since I did my Steam Deck unboxing video, I have now actually played the Steam Deck for quite a while now. I've been using this thing a lot and I've been playing a ton of games on there, and I just think it's the right time to kind of share my thoughts and experience with the Steam Deck. Nintendo! Hello everyone, it has been a really long time. My name is Josh from the Nintendo channel. If this is your first time watching any of my videos, please consider hitting that subscribe button for more videos. I will be making more content about stuff, and I'm just trying out different formats of videos and stuff like that, so I kind of just want to see where this goes. So anyways, back to the video. When I think about the Steam Deck, I think that the Steam Deck is a great little portable PC. I don't think of it as a Switch killer. In fact, I think it's not related to the Switch at all. I just think of this more as a portable PC that I can just take with me. When I went on my little vacation, I did take my Steam Deck with me, and I installed and played a bunch of other games on there. Before I left, I installed Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and started playing a little bit of that, and I enjoyed playing that game. It ran well. I mean, it was verified to run great on Steam Deck, so I wanted to try it out because it is a game that's actually kind of, graphically intense. Also played a little bit of Cyberpunk 2077. That ran pretty well. Surprisingly, there are a lot of games that run pretty well, if not perfectly, on the Steam Deck. Now, when my initial impressions, I said that there were games that weren't available for Steam Deck. Now they changed that slightly. So Persona 4 Golden now runs perfectly, or is now verified to run on Steam Deck. There are many JRPGs on the Steam Deck that are not verified, and that's kind of false. And the one reason why I say that it is false is because it does run. I installed it. I installed a game called Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. So I installed that and it actually ran pretty well. A lot of the games that I have tested, even the ones that aren't like quote unquote playable, it runs well. Or the ones that don't really run well, there are ways to probably get that workaround or fix. There are games that I was able to play and there are games that I'm not able to play. For example, Batman Arkham Asylum is one of those games that I could not run initially, and through custom Proton, which is it's called Proton GE, basically that actually helped with compatibility, and it's custom made, it's user based, it goes through and it helps a lot with just compatibility. So those were some things that I was kind of concerned about, but my concerns were alleviated by the fact that we do have a big base that understands this stuff and that you can do it. Now, the controller aspect of the Steam Deck is actually quite nice. Using the touchpad as a right stick, basically, or as a mouse, is actually really, really nice, and it feels like you're using a mouse. Anytime I play like an older, like first-person shooter game that doesn't have controller support, for example, like Call of Duty World War or Modern Warfare 2 or any of the other Call of Duty games that are on PC, it works pretty well. It's very smooth and it feels great. And the fact is that the controller support for every game is very customizable. Like, you can set anything you want and tweak it to your liking. Personally, for me, I love just playing games that have camera controls and just use my the right trackpad as my mouse. Now, one thing that I also wanted to mention was that I was able to play games that weren't that I didn't have on Steam. So for example, playing games through Origin or Battle.net or Ubisoft Connect. I only tested mostly EA Origin, so I played like The Sims 4, and I also played Battlefield 5 on Steam Deck, and The Sims 4 runs pretty well. I mean, you have to turn down a lot of settings in order to make it work. So I'm actually really happy that I can play The Sims 4 portably and also have all of my mods, all my Sims. I can just transfer all of that stuff over from my PC to the Steam Deck. I can just leave off to whatever I was doing, and then vice versa for Battlefield 5. Granted, I never really played much of Battlefield 5, but I do have it. I also have like a bunch of other EA Origin games. Now, the games I really couldn't get going on Battle.net were the Call of Duty games. Those are pretty intensive in graphics, so those games I couldn't really get working. So I'm sure there are fixes for the Call of Duty games on Battle.net. I just don't have a whole lot of games, and I didn't really do that much. I played mostly Steam games and some of the EA Origin. So there wasn't much else that I wanted to do with this. I also did get the Dolphin emulator. I did get some emulators. I have no complaints. I loved that I could just play Mario Superstar Baseball and some other GameCube games, and I guess I could try to play the Wii on here. I don't know if I really want to, but the fact is that I can do it is actually quite amazing. It just makes for a really good PC experience on the go. Everything that you have on the Steam Deck currently is not going to be completely set in stone. Now, SteamOS is basically done, but they're going to be constantly updating the games. They're going to be constantly doing different stuff with it. Developers are going to be updating their games for the Steam Deck. Hopefully, there'll be a lot more, and we see that. I really have to say that it's just one of the best experiences that I've had going in on playing this, just playing video games in general, playing my PC games that I barely spend enough time playing PC games, to put it on a console like this and run everything on there, or run a lot of stuff that I just don't really have the time to play. I don't have a lot of time to be playing games just on Steam Deck. It's kind of difficult, you know, to just sit down and play a PC game. For me, personally. I know others are like, well, you can just, I mean, I play PC all the time, whatever. It's my preferred console. It's my preferred way to play video games. I mean, I have a Switch, and I love playing my games on the Switch. I like playing my games on my PS5. So for me is when I had the time to play my Steam Deck, and I was actually playing games on my Steam Deck. Again, this video is really not in a review. It's just kind of my thoughts and feelings and, you know, observations of what I think about the Steam Deck. There is still a lot more to discover with the Steam Deck, and I just think that the user functionality, the user experience has been pretty good, with the amount of people who are also working on this, not just the Valve themselves, but just the third parties in general. Like, you know, people like you and me can actually help and work on the Steam Deck and compatibility through the Linux. And the fact that there's so much more that you can do with the system, it's actually pretty mind-boggling. You know, you never really think that with handheld systems like these that you would have to leave up to the hacking community. And basically that's what it is. You're basically leaving it up to the hacking community. But Valve made this very open source and very open for people to use. Unlike Nintendo, where basically you have to hack the system and then go through homebrew and then have them figure out the whole architecture and stuff like that themselves, you know, to understand that. It's just, you know, very different compared to, or what Valve is doing. So overall, I think that the Steam Deck is great, you know. Hopefully everything on the Steam Deck just gets better, or we get a 2.0 release. But I hope it's just not a one and done release, because I think that there's a lot of potential with this thing. So on that note, if you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.